Yeah, hello guys, and welcome to the channel. So basically, in this tutorial, what I want to do is just see how I can walk around this image and just get it to be something really nice. As you can see, the image is underexposed. The flash did not trigger when I took the picture, but I just want to work with this one. I just want to work because a lot of times the picture that has this kind of problems are usually the best pictures. The client is well posed, but the flash doesn't trigger at that point. I don't know if you experienced this, but me, I like this one. Although there are others in the collection which are properly exposed, but I want to work with this one. Alright, so in this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to go around it. I'll be using Capture One before sending it to Photoshop for skin retouching and all of that. So if it's your first time here, consider hitting the subscribe button because I'll be teaching you everything as regards Photoshop, photography, retouching, color grading and all of that. Okay, so my name is Joe Mufasa, and let's just get into this tutorial. Alright, so looking at the image, you can see it is underexposed. So although why I'm working with it is because the details are still very much here. Let me just zoom this out. Alright, so the details are still here. What I could do is first thing is maybe you want to bump up the exposure. I will just maybe instead of the exposure, let's start with the brightness a bit. Let's just take the brightness up a bit. I think exposure will be the last thing we touch. But let's just take up the brightness a bit, and then let's open up the shadows just to open up the darks. You can see I didn't even have to touch exposure, just the brightness and shadows already done a lot for the image. So I want to pump up the highlights, so just give it a little bit of punch in the image, just very subtle, and probably maybe reduce the blacks just to keep in contrast like that, and then probably just do the exposure a bit. All right, but the picture looks a little bit hazy, so let's still bump up contrast here, just one. And then let's look at this dehaze. So I like using Capture One because it just has a way of making everything subtle. You can actually copy, you can stack effects and all of that, but when it comes to also getting the colors right, Capture One helps a lot to get the colors right. So I want to dehaze this image a bit just to make it punchy. So you can see this is the dehazed version of the image. All right, so working with this, I think I can come into the levels and probably just get my black and white points correctly. All right, this is good for me. Good. Now I can just fine tune this to what I like. So I think the exposure looks good. I didn't have to bump up, so don't just bump up the exposure. Work with these other sliders, work with the highlights, work with the shadows, work with a lot of these ones. So I think this image looks good. So you can see this is the before the edit, and now this is it. This is the after. So I think this is actually very nice. And what next I can do is probably work on the sharpness of the image. So what I do here is I come to noise reduction and I just take down this luminance. It just increases sharpness for me, and then also I take down the threshold here to 0. This just makes the image a little bit sharper around. And then the next thing I do is this is just my general way of processing raw images in Capture One. If you like, you can turn on chromatic aberration depending on the kind of lens you're shooting with. And also white balance. I like to keep around 5,000, but let's just work with this and see what we can get. All right, I think I like the faded look for this one. All right, I like this. And then we can just come into the color editor here, and then we can come to skin tone. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a cold. Sorry. So I can come here, just select a tone I like, something I like a skin or I like here, and then probably just play with the hues. All right, just to see what works for you. All right, I like this shade of the color. I like this. Then I'll saturate it a bit, because over here in Africa, our clients love saturated images, but do what works for you. just do what works for you. Then uniformity, I can both up a bit. All right, this is good for me. So this is just basically what I would do. This is the before, this is the before, and this is the after. This is the before and this is the after. So this is basically what I would do before sending this image to Photoshop for skin retouching. All right, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please also subscribe to the channel so that you just get this kind of information at your beck and call. Turn on notifications so that you also don't miss when I post a video. And if you need to talk, please, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section. I will just go through it and I'll answer as much as I can. Alright, so I'll be doing another tutorial for those of us who want to see how I would skin retouch this in Photoshop. So just do well to stay tuned, and I'll see you again in the next video. Cheers.